Hi, Tanmac. How are you? Good morning, Camille. I'm glad you're here. Doing some vocal warm-ups. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. ואהבת את ענת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. I do vocal warm-ups every morning, although I'm not entirely clear what constitutes a vocal warm-up and what constitutes a prayer, because I've thoroughly fused them together. But I have been saying these prayers every morning for the last 8 years or so, and I've been modifying my voice for the last 2, and when I started modifying my voice, I combined the practices. So I do these prayers with you every morning to remind my body what my voice sounds like and what I want it to sound like, and to remind my mind that all is connected to all. V'chaya. כי ויחיה אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר נשבע לבתיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר לא מילאת וברות הצווים אשר לא עשת וכרמים וזיתים אשר לא נתת והלכת ושבעת הישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר תישך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Listen, Israel, listen, you who struggles with God. Yahweh, Eloheinu, Asher, El, Anat, Baal, Allah. They're all one. They're all the same. And you shall love Yahweh, Eloheinu, with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words which I have consistently repeated to you every day, I repeat them so that you might learn them or hear them. Teach them to your children. Recite them when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, when you are out on the road, and when you are at home. And you shall bind them as a symbol on your hand and let them serve as a sign on your forehead. and inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And when Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to assign to you, great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things that you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you did not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. Good morning, Chloe. Good morning, Dr. Punk. Good morning, J. Mark Anthony. Good morning, Is Butter. How are you all doing today? I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be feeling free. Not just who I am, but the pink and golden land and that wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray, and it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Ooh, not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins, and I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. I love Allah, Allah made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asherah made good, and Anat, Anat made bad. Eloheinu made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Love Allah. God made. But I don't want to pray to my Maker, I just want to be what I see. Not like in a book, or the leaves of trees that shook from a word that means only not a thing. Hashem. Pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. I love Allah, Allah made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asherah made good, and Anat, Anat made bad. Eloheinu made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made me. Except that's a lie, it's a bit of fiction. None of those gods really exist except in the stories we tell of them, but those stories are still important. They allow us to make one another. So, we can continue today the story of Aquat from this book, Stories from Ancient Canaan. Pamela, I finished it. I don't know if you noticed, I started posting on TikTok again. I will be posting every couple of days for the entire summer. And I'm able to do that because I finished the documentary that I was working on. It's not yet published. It will be published soon. Thank you for asking about it. And the reason I was created is to seek Jesus Christ, is it? I can get down with that, depending on how you interpret the words Jesus and Christ, right? Who is the Anointed One? Who is the God King on the top of the mountain? The Redeemer, right? Jesus is one avatar among many. We're going to read about another God King. His name is Aquat. He existed in the same land that Jesus existed in 2,000 years before. And they have many of the same features. So we can learn about both in the same context, because they are both members of the same family tree. So, in our story about Aquat, we have Danel, the healer's man. He's very holy, he's very chaste. He's not very chaste, actually. He's got a son. He wants a son. He prays to the gods. He prays to El and Baal for a son. And here is the god's response. So, my father, El the bull, won't you bless him? Creator of all, won't you show him your favor? Let him have a son in his house, a descendant inside his palace, to set up a stele for his divine ancestor, a family shrine in the sanctuary. to free his spirit from the earth, guard his footsteps from the slime, to crush those who rebel against him, drive off his oppressors, to hold his hand when he is drunk, support him when he is full of wine, to eat his offering in the temple of Baal, his portion in the temple of El, to patch his roof when it leaks, to wash his clothes when they are dirty. What an image of sonship! What an image of what it is to have a father. You are to support him when he is drunk and to guard his footsteps from slime. El took care of his servant. He blessed Danel, the healer's man. He showed him favor to the hero, a man of the god of Harnam. Let the passion of Danel, the healer's man, revive. The desire of the hero, the man of the god of Harnam, let him go to his bed. When he kisses his wife, she'll become pregnant. When he embraces her, she'll conceive. She will become pregnant, she will give birth, she will conceive, and there will be a son in his house, an heir inside his palace, to set up a stele for his divine ancestor, a family shrine in the sanctuary. See, isn't this very interesting? Like, we can do this comparison between the old Canaanitic gods and the new, right? So, the newer Canaanitic gods, right, it's the same thing, right? God gave a son to Mary. But very explicitly, there's no sex involved. Whereas here, El is a horny god, right? El says, let the passion of Danel the hero revive. Let the desire of the hero come. Let him go to his bed. And he can kiss his wife and she'll become pregnant, right? Like, they know where babies come from, right? They're very aware of the role that sex plays in fertility, and they're unashamed of it. And I think that's pretty great. What am I reading? I am reading Stories from Ancient Canaan. These are tablets that were found in the ruins of the city of Ugarit, inscribed by a man named Ilimiku, the scribe of the king, around 3,600 years ago. I'm glad you like my wall, Gabrielle. There's a reason it's there, right? I read these stories because they're down here on the tree, right? And they give us context for the stories that we all learned that came over here much later. Right? These are stories about the same region and the same religious tradition that Christianity came out of, right? So very frequently, I mean, you've seen in the chat, right? I get religious zealots in this room, which is unsurprising, right? Because I have my own flavor of zealotry. The only difference, really, or I don't know about the only difference. What are differences? But I think paying attention to history and evolutionary trajectory is important, right? So we can understand the Jesus movement by understanding these stories. And that's how it goes. One evolved from the other. So, El says, when he kisses his wife, she'll become pregnant. When he embraces her, she'll succeed. To set up a stele for his divine ancestor, a family shrine in the sanctuary, to free his spirit from the earth, guard his footsteps from the slime, to crush those who rebel against him, drive off his oppressors. A family shrine in the sanctuary, to free your spirit from the earth, guard your footsteps from the slime, to crush those who rebel against you, drive off your oppressors, to eat your offering in the temple of Baal, your portion in the temple of El, to hold your hand when you are drunk, support you when you are full of wine, to patch your roof when it leaks, to wash your clothes when they are dirty. And Danel was very pleased. Danel's face was glad, and above his brow shone. He opened his mouth and laughed. He put his feet on a stool. He raised his voice and shouted, "Now I can sit back and relax. My heart inside me can relax. For a son will be born to me like my brothers, an heir like my cousins, who will set up a stele for my divine ancestor, a family shrine in the sanctuary, who will free my spirit from the earth, guard my footsteps from the slime, who will crush those who rebel against me, drive off my oppressors, who will hold my hand when I am drunk, support me when I am full of wine, who will eat my offering in the temple of Baal, my portion in the temple of El, who will patch my roof when it leaks, wash my clothes when they are dirty." What an image of sonship. Really? Are these what we expect of our sons now? I don't think so. Nonetheless, it's interesting. Danel arrived at his house. Danel reached his palace. The wise women entered his house, the singers, the swallows. Then Danel, the healer's man, the hero, the man of the god of Harnam, slaughtered an ox for the wise women. He gave food to the wise women, drink to the singers, the swallows. One day had ended, and on the second he gave food to the wise women, drink to the singers, the swallows. 3 days had ended, and on the fourth he gave food to the wise women, drink to the singers, the swallows. 3 days had ended, and on the 4th he gave food to the wise women, drink to the singers, the swallows. 5 days had ended, and on the 6th he gave food to the wise women, drink to the singers and the swallows. Then, on the 7th day, the wise woman left his house. The singers, the swallows, the pleasures of the bed, the delights of the bed. Danelle sat and counted the months. And that is how Danelle's son was born, right? So we have this very ancient count to 7, right? So in the book of Genesis, we have this story that God created the world in 7 days. In this story, Aquat dines with wise women for 7 days, and at the end of the 7 days come the pleasures of the bed. So this particular book is called Stories from Ancient Canaan. It's a set of stories. It's a translation by David Coogan. But the stories, of course, have no cohesive title. They were never put into a book form except in the modern era. But they were found in the city of Ugarit. Tablets containing many things. Some of them were stories, like the story of Danelle and Aquat. So we will leave it there, and we'll continue on with the exploits of Danelle and the many adventures that he goes upon. But that is for another day. Now we will say Arati. Arati. So the word Arati means flame in Sanskrit. Okay, so here we have little flame. It's a reminder that all of us are made of light. From a physics perspective, I suppose. From an evolutionary perspective too, right? Before there was any matter in the universe, there was just light, and the light congealed, became matter, and the matter evolved and became humans. And so we are here, and we have various names for various things in the world. We're going to repeat various names of gods today. Indian gods, Hindu gods. And the meaning of the prayer is to remind us that whatever names we might use for all of these various forms of divinity, they're all connected at the root. Because at the root, we are all light. I'm glad you like the new videos I've been posting, Pamela. Jaya Jayartiya Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayartiya Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayartiya Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarti Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankatarana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarti Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jayarti Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati Mahakali and Mahashakti Jaya Jayarti Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarti Datachaya Datachaya Trimutaya Vatara Jaya Jayarti Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarti Sanischaraya Sanischaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarti Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Guravi Jaya Jayarti Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarti Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Ayapa Samine Ayapa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jayarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jayarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Guru Bho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Natatra Suryabati Natandrakaratam Nimavidyabati Kutaya Magni Twameva Bantam Banti Sarvam Tasya Pasya Sarmidam Vivanti Om Yonge Kayamune Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siri Kaveriya Namastitam Namo Namaha. Twameva Mata, Jabita Twameva, Twameva Bandusha Saka Twameva, Twameva Vidya Javinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Kayena Vacha Manasandriyarva, Budyat Manava Prakrite Sabavad, Karomyad Yad, Mangalam Parasmahi, Narayana Iti Sarmar Payami. Sarvadamam Pravichaya Mamikam Savanambrija Aham Sva Sarva Papayo Mokshayami Masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, intellect, or my emotions, all these, I dedicate to you. Thank you all so much for joining me today. So, now we will say Kaddish. The word Kaddish means holy in Hebrew. Right, we can remind ourselves of this goddess here. Her name was Kaddish, an Egyptian goddess, a Canaanitic goddess. Right? And because of her, as the language evolved and as the religion evolved, holiness retained the letters of her name. And this Kaddish is a prayer of grief, a prayer of mourning, a prayer to help us release those things which we need to let go of, or allow ourselves to lose the things that we have already lost. And for the last 2,500 years, my ancestors have been saying these words in response to death. Yidkadav, Yidkadash, Shemei Rabbah. Bialma Divrachiote Viamlich Malchute, Bachayachon Viamechon Chayede Kolbe Israel, Bagala Vismankari Vimru, Ami. Yehe Shemei Rabbah Mivaarch Leolam, Omei, Omaya, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitbaar, Vitraman, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitala, Shemei de Kudesha Barichu, Leela Min Kolberchata Vishirata, Tushbechata Venechimata, Demiran Bialma Vimru, Ami. Yehe Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya Vichayim Aleinu Viachol Yisrael. Vimru, Amen. Ose Shalom Vimru, Huya Ase Shalom, Aleinu V'Yochol Yisrael. Vimru, Amen. Ose Shalom Vimru, Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu, V'Yalechol Yisrael. Vimru, Vimru, Amen. So, thank you for joining me this morning. I will see you again tomorrow to say these words once more. Until then, I hope you have a very lovely day. Be well.